It is considered the nation's silent mass disaster. More than 80,000 active missing persons cases in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, we're averaging about 200.
But through a DNA lab in Texas, some of these cold cases are being solved.
She was just there and then she was gone.
In the spring of 1969, Joe Eirich's mother, Nora Duncan, and her two friends disappeared without a trace.
I had mailed my mother a letter and it came back to me.
She first filed a missing persons report with the FBI, but the case out of Custer County soon grew cold.
I did everything I could to find her.
Joe spent more than 40 years looking for her mother.
That's a picture of me and Mother. It was just a terrible time in my life.
We're not giving up. I don't want to give up.
Angela Berg is a forensic anthropologist.
Each box contains someone who is unidentified.
She works to identify human remains stored here at the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's office.
You know, I didn't know if it was already something that had been found or...
Joe submitted her DNA with the hopes that Angela could make a positive match.
If you don't find x-rays or dental and they're skeletonized, obviously fingerprints are out, then that's when DNA becomes invaluable.
In Oklahoma, there are about 117 boxes of unidentified human remains and about 200 missing persons cases. Through a DNA lab at the University of North Texas Health Science Center in Fort Worth, that gap between the two is closing.
Even family members of missing persons can enter their missing loved one into the system.
BJ Spammer works with NamUs, a database where family and law enforcement agencies can compare and share information on missing and unidentified cases.
If we still have searching family members, we can still collect DNA, and we can still collect dental records and fingerprints in a lot of these cases.
This kit contains the consent forms and instructions.
Once the DNA is collected from families, lab technicians compare it to the DNA extracted from human remains. Since 2003, they've made 1,700 matches.
Not only are we comparing everything that we processed here at UNT, but we can upload that to the state level and then to the national level, which is operated by the FBI.
Breaking news, 5 people were recovered this afternoon at Foss Lake.
It was a DNA match that led Joe to her mother after her remains were discovered in 2013. She was among 6 others found at the bottom of Foss Lake.
They called it a brooch, but there it is that she'd had on.
As she sifts through some of her mother's belongings, Joe is finally at peace.
Other people bury their loved ones, you know, and they have a place to go to the cemetery and put flowers. Well, I had nothing for all those years, but now I have a place.
So if you are a family member of a missing person, you're encouraged to contact law enforcement for help submitting a DNA sample that can be sent to the lab. Also, make sure the missing persons report is active in the NamUs database. We've put that link for you on news9.com.